Yo guys, Theo here, Uncommon Sense. Today I'll be ranting about food and how it's not a big deal at all. Because to many people today it is, but it's not supposed to be. And I'd say most people have a certain way of thinking about food, and I'll be presenting to you an alternative that's been very, very successful for me. So this is one of those situations that I always talk about on this channel where you can lead a horse to the water, but they have to drink it on their own. Meaning you can show someone the way, the path to walk, but they have to walk themselves. So I won't magically be able to just transform the way you view food, but I can tell you a way you could be viewing food and how to get there. So just if you're new to the channel, a little background info about me. Today I'm this fitness, health, self-improvement freak that loves working on myself and improving and have already come pretty far. But only 3 years ago I was the opposite. I was a skinny, fat, little loser kind of guy with horrible habits with diet, alcohol, sleep, you name it. And so food was never my biggest vice because I was just whatever crap fell into my lap I had, may that be alcohol or junk food. If it was presented to me, I had it. But so I was never super fat, but I definitely had some problematic behaviors with eating, and I was skinny fat. And so I viewed food a certain way that I think most people do these days. And so I was never super addicted to it, but I've been able to tell that a lot of people are addicted to eating. Okay, there are two main things that I think people get wrong about food today. That people think it's important to eat often, like, oh, I haven't eaten in 5 hours, so obviously I can't focus, I need to eat something. It goes so fast before people are like hungry. And the other thing is that people think of food as it's so important to experience junk food. Like, oh, I've heard a quote like this so many times, like, oh, I don't think life would be worth living without my sweets or without my pizza. And when I hear that, I'm like, so you're here? You've been given this wonderful opportunity, one life, to do whatever you want in this world. And what you choose to do is just experience these tastes. Like, what does it accomplish more than you feeling pleasure in the moment? In fact, what you accomplish is just ruining your health. You get fat, you ruin your gut, both on the outside and on the inside. You get all kinds of gut issues from eating junk, and you can get so many disorders and autoimmune diseases from eating crap. And so why is this so important to you? No, you should change the way you're viewing it. No. Yes, you can't help that you were brought up in this environment where food is just available in excess. All you had to do is go to the store, put your little card in the machine, now you have food. But not only that, like all these extreme designed artificial foods that food scientists have designed for you to like exploit your taste buds and reward system so you get addicted and fat. Yeah, you can't help that, but you should acknowledge that no, it's not like, oh, food is life, pizza and sweets is life. No, they're actually death. That's what's killing you, you know? So yeah, I would say, I was very lazy with food, so generally I just ate a lot of bad stuff that didn't have so much to do with addiction. Like I bought microwave food and stuff, but it absolutely happened like on a Sunday, just chilling with bros, hungover again, you know, buying like chocolate balls and chips and stuff and just eating a bunch of crap, you know. And well, I'm not gonna be able to tell you the full story about how I changed all of this, but I'm gonna tell you like the two main things that changed the way I view food, and so how you can implement these to get over your addiction to food or change the way you're thinking about food. So the first thing is actually I would like to start with fasting, but it's not in that order. The bodybuilding. Actually, and don't think that when I say bodybuilding, the image you get in your head might be like a 270-pound guy all oiled up standing on stage like this. I don't mean it like that. I mean like just working on your body. Do you understand? Like both the way it looks and the way it feels. Like this is another thing. Like people get confused. I'm a personal trainer in a gym and online coach with all this fitness, health, fasting, self-improvement stuff. And so many people come like, yeah, I want to be stronger, but I don't care about muscle. But it's like, And how do you think you're going to get stronger without getting more muscle? Like, yes, there are other things there, like the nervous system, but come on, the two are intertwined. So when you just start thinking about the way you look and feel and how that is connected to what you eat, instead of viewing the food as like pleasure, a reward, like, oh, I'd like to eat something because it would taste nice, you know, you think about food like, oh, I want to eat this because it will improve my health. Like, that's the way I think of food. Like for instance, I was in a party situation where there was like hired chefs who brought a bunch of meat and potatoes, really good food. And in a situation like that, I'm feasting. It's a feast, so I go outside my regular eating routine. But, that's the way I'm thinking of it. Like, shit, this is so good fuel for me. This is so good for my recovery, for my training. Oh, wow. It tastes good. I do enjoy it. But, it's not that, wow, oh, this is going to be so nice. It's going to taste so nice in my mouth. That's not how I think about the food. Because I've started viewing my body. Like it's the same way. If you have a nice car, would you be just fueling it with crap fuel? Like, this might ruin your engine. But yeah, it smells nice, or I don't know, not a perfect comparison, but do you see, and it's the same when you're renovating your house or something. You're not just, I buy this cheap wood that might break in a few years. Because that's okay. You don't think about this in any other way, but with you as a person, you don't care at all what you put in. You're just like, as long as it tastes good. It's important that it tastes good. You don't care about the output of you own this body. This is your property, and it should be much more valuable to you than your car or house or whatever. This is your car. This is the car for your soul, So just when you start changing the way, when you don't see food as just pleasure, like a drug, really. Because that person that says life wouldn't be worth living without my sweets or pizza, it's no difference from saying life wouldn't be worth living about drugs. And just think about that. If you think it sounds drastic, is it really though? Like, it's putting something inside you for instant pleasure that ruins your health and makes you addicted to it in the long term. What's the difference between drugs except the title, the categorization that we say food or junk food or sweets, candy, and drugs? That's the only difference. It's exactly the same thing. So when you stop viewing food as a drug, because that's what you're doing if you think it's so important to experience these tastes, or even if you don't think it's important, but that's how it works, like, I have cravings, I just want this because it tastes nice. You're thinking if food is now a drug to you. And if you can change that into thinking about it as fuel for the most valuable possession you have, much more valuable vehicle than any car or you have, or the house you have, or whatever stuff you have. Like the same way you take care of some of those things, take care of your body the same way. And like when you start seeing results, and I both mean like visual, you start seeing yourself look better, but you also start noticing yourself feeling better, and you can connect the dots that, shit, this is connected to how I eat. Then it's going to be easier. So see, I'm showing you here where the water is. You can be viewing, just as I do. I never think about food as, like, I work in a gym. We have fika, like in Sweden, that's basically like a cup of coffee and some sweets, like a cinnamon bun or something. I think I've been offered this in my gym that I've worked in 1.5 years, at least 100 times. I took a cinnamon bun once when I had slept really bad that night. That's it. And it's not... Do you understand? I'm telling you this to make you understand that it's not that I'm just so disciplined that I sit there like, oh, I want to experience this pleasure in my mouth so much, but I can't. It's not that. I don't want it. I'm viewing it as like, no. I'm not putting shit in my nice car, no shit in my car. I just put nice fuel so it runs nicely and lasts for a long time, runs good, That's the way I view it. So, like getting into working on yourself with your health, I say bodybuilding because, like, again, it's not about only the visuals, but it's so good. It's so clear when you see physical change in you, and you can put two and two together. Like, yeah, I've not been eating as much. I've been eating clean food. I've been hitting the gym, and wow, I can see that muscles starting to grow. I'm seeing myself lose fat. I'm starting, yeah. Like, you can connect the dots. It's easier sometimes. Like sometimes because we have no matter how good we take care of ourselves, we still have good and bad days, right? So just the feeling of feeling better might not be enough. But that's why I say bodybuilding. I could go into why everyone should bodybuild for other reasons than the relationship to food, but that's for another video. But so the other thing you can do, except bodybuilding, and start working on your body physically, and start viewing like the food you eat as fuel and building blocks for this thing you're building. The other thing is just fasting. Start doing fasting, prolonged and intermittent fasting. Like, because you learn so much. Like, first of all, it's like with any addiction, being away from something for a prolonged time reduces the cravings and makes it easier to stay away from it, even when you reintroduce it, you know. But it's also, it helps you resynthesize your taste buds and reward response from eating. So after doing fasting for a time and not eating junk, refeeding on clean, healthy foods, you now have access in the things, in the taste of those foods that you haven't before. Because at first, like, think of it this way. Like someone living way before all these artificial processed junk foods existed, if they ate just meat and potatoes, a little bit of fruit and vegetables, do you think they would be bored with that? No? Because they have never, like, you have a baseline for everything. There's a hedonic treadmill for everything. If your baseline is the most intense taste you ever tasted was like meat, potatoes, like that's going to be awesome for you. And you're not going to be comparing it to all this junk food that you don't even know about. Do you understand? But the good news is, like, because it can seem like, oh shit, I've been exposed to all this, I'm fucked. But no, if you do the fasting, you get more and more sensitive to tastes again. And so when you introduce regular food, boom, you get a nice reward response from that. And so putting the two together, when you, the bodybuilding and food as fuel, when you see, you're going to be motivated and like, yeah, oh wow, this food is actually tasting nice. And I'm not thinking as much about junk food. Then you're less likely to do it just like slentrian, you say in Swedish, like just randomly, like, yeah, just out of boredom, because you now have some kind of inner motivation, like you put two and two together and like, yeah, wow, I actually I don't want it as much, and this is going to help me so much with my goals I'm already working on. So and also, when I'm going to tell again how people are wrong about it. I guess I talked about how people are wrong about like food being, it's so important to experience these nice tastes, you know, as if that was some kind of meaning in life, just sitting there and experiencing pleasure. Well, the other thing about it, people think they have to eat all the time. It's funny how addicted people are to eating. It's not only like sedentary fat asses, you know. I mean, again, I work in a gym. So many fitness people are so addicted to eating. They like come in, have breakfast, have 2 or 3 clients and be like, I'm starving. It's like, why? Why? Like it's, again, the comparison with a car. Like, do you think a car is, if you give it a full tank and you drive a little bit, it's like, need more fuel to keep going. No, there's a bunch of fuel left. And it's the same with these people. It's just that their body have been taught, because of the extreme availability of food and that they have been able to eat often for so long. You know, the body, we're habitual creatures. The body is going to excrete hunger hormones at those times. So you think you need food, but that's the thing. With addictions, when we feel like we want and need something, it does not no longer mean that we do need it. We've been hijacked in that way. And so people think they can't focus when they haven't eaten, but it doesn't make sense when you think about it. If human beings, how would we have evolved to what we are if we couldn't function with a few hours of being away from food? Like, again, these stores where you just go and put the little card weren't always available. Like, yes, humans were smart and maybe lived close to their prey, so it was available in that way, but still, you have to go out and fucking kill this animal to be able to eat it. It's... yeah, and so if you just, you didn't eat dinner, and the next day you're like, oh, I didn't eat dinner, I have no energy. If we worked like that, we would have died out a long time ago. What actually happens when you get into fasting, again, both prolonged and intermittent fasting, you're going to notice that when you get hungry, when you get into a fasted state, when the body picks up on, okay, there's no nutrients coming from the outside, the body will actually turn up everything, your focus, your eyesight, your hearing, everything, to make you more sharp, to put you in a hunter state, basically, to be able to get all this food, and you can channel this for more than just getting food, you know, because that's easy today. Like me recording this video now, I do it fasted. I do that almost all the time. Like if I don't record a video later in the day, so I've started eating, but I tactically don't eat my breakfast until after recording a video because I know I have much better focus. And it does make sense that when you have eaten, that's actually when you're less productive, because now you've gotten what you need. Now the body is just like, okay, let's recharge. Let's digest this food. Let's use the protein to repair, you know, muscle and other tissue in the body, all of this, you know. So it's actually the other way around. People thinking that they come to the gym and I need some energy for this workout. No, it's more likely that this, like, because people are so addicted to food. Like, yes, someone might get like a placebo response and like, oh, now I have energy from this protein bar that won't be digested and won't be available as energy that I can use for a long time. Yeah, now that I've eaten that, I have much more energy, you know. No, in fact, it's more likely that you were in a little like sympathetic state, like a stressed state, but in a positive way. So you're on edge, you know. But when you eat, you become like that, you know. And I've been like, I sing in a choir, and it was a big debate about people coming late because they bring food that they have to eat before the rehearsal starts. And it's like, yeah, but we're gonna rehearse for 3 hours. Like, yeah, we need something. And there's a fucking fika break in the middle of this rehearsal too. And do you really think you have a day of working, eating a fucking kebab? Do you think that will give you energy to stand and sing for hours? No, it's much more likely to make you like all slow, food coma, bloated. It will, because we're talking about singing, create a lot of phlegm. There, especially have a soda with this shit. You know, it will just be worse. And so it's all upside down. And so, okay, I think I'm done with this video. It's not a complete red line and not like super concrete advice, but I just kind of want to present to you how people view food, what their relationship to food looks like and what it could be like, and like a couple of tools to get there. So mainly bodybuilding, like working on your body, treating it as anything else that you want to take good care of, you know. You don't buy the shit products, you don't put the shit fuel in your car, you don't use the cheap paint on your nice house or whatever. Do the same with your body, you know. And then again, when you can put the two and two together, like, oh, there's actually a very clear relationship between how I eat and how I feel like and look like, you know. And that will make you more motivated when you start doing things like fasting to like resynthesize your taste buds, reset your relationship to food. When you've made that connection and you want to view food more as fuel for your body and not just as a drug, just as pleasure, you'll be more motivated. Because I've heard about so many people that start getting into something good, but I think they haven't really, like the last piece haven't really clicked. And so if life just presents them with, oh, there is junk food available, even if they don't have strong cravings at that point, they just eat it because it was available, and it can spiral back into old behavior. And so having that, just knowing that, no, the state I'm in now, that's so good for me to be able to look and feel the way I want. It will be easier for you to not fall back into old patterns. So I hope this video was helpful. Again, a little bit all over the place, but I just thought about this because so many times I talk to people that have so much issues with food. And the interesting thing is, I leave you with this. When you get into fitness and you like kind of lose your addictions and get good habits going, like the food is the easiest part. Most people struggle with the food and losing weight because of food the most. But when you're into all this, it's the easiest. Like building muscle is a grind and it's tough. You have to do tough workouts. With the food, it's not even something you have to do. It's something you have to not do. Just don't eat all that junk and don't eat so fucking much and don't eat all the time. So, if you liked the video, please leave a comment. What did you think? All comments and likes help support the channel, helps the algorithm, helps more people see it, so very much appreciated. You can comment anything, it will help me. I see some of you guys do that, so fist bump, love that, appreciate it. Please subscribe for more content about fitness, fasting, losing weight, building muscle, self-improvement in general, but also kind of uncommon sense takes on society, life, people, relationships, things like that. Okay, guys, I will see you later. Peace.